I don't know. Stupidity knows no bounds sometimes with people. That's all I can say. Guns are white supremacy's deadliest weapon. We must disarm the hate. Are we crazy? You know, when people want to take over a country and break it down, the first thing they're going to go after is your weapons, your way of defending yourself. They're going to tell you that it's wrong to have weapons, that we must have true peace, and that means to give up your weapons and let the government take over and protect you fully. The Rev Sharon Risher is a member of the Everytown Survivor Network, a volunteer with Moms Demand Action, and the author of For Such a Time as This, Hope and Forgiveness After Charleston Massacre. The defining photograph of the attempted insurrection on January 6th was that of a man strolling through broken halls of our nation's capital amid smashed windows and assorted rubble of the failed coup, proudly brandishing a Confederate flag on his shoulder and hoping to overrun an election decided largely by black voters. It's an image that tells the story not only of January 6th or of the Trump presidency, but also of all the steps that led to that moment, the whole history of hate in America and captured in one frame. For me, the echoes of that picture reverberated back nearly 6 years to the day my mom, Ethel Lee Lance, was shot and killed while praying in Charleston's Mother Emanuel Church, along with 8 other black Americans, including 2 of my cousins and one of my close childhood friends. In the months leading up to that tragic day, my mom's killer posed for pictures with the Confederate flag, sometimes even slinging it over his shoulder, just like that insurrection in the Capitol did. Those are 2 different things, okay? And this, was about people who didn't like the fact that their favorite political figure is no longer going to be president anymore. People have the right to defend themselves. Owning guns is not white supremacy. The similarities between these 2 days don't end there. Both days ended in death, so both attacks were perpetrated, at least in part, by white supremacists chasing a lost cause, and tragically, the perpetrators of both incidents were carrying more than just flags. My mother's killer was armed with a handgun. The Capitol insurrectionists were armed with enough live ammunition to shoot every member of the House and Senate 5 times. You gotta understand, some of these people were also unarmed. So let's start with that. Let's, not even go there trying to put in lies. This deadly connection between white supremacy and guns runs throughout our history. In 1866, armed Confederate lords stormed the Louisiana Constitutional Convention, murdering 34 black Americans in an attempt to block suffrage for freed slaves. In 1898, an armed white mob in Wilmington, North Carolina, proclaimed a white Declaration of Independence, then killed at least 60 residents before replacing the multicultural local government with white supremacists. In 1921, mobs of armed white residents of Tulsa attacked the black neighborhood of Greenwood, murdering more than 300 Tulsans for the crime of being black and successful. In 1955, Emmett Till was tortured and shot in the head by white vigilantes. And today, mass shootings from the church in Charleston to the supermarket in El Paso to the Sikh temple in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, have been committed by white supremacists filled with hate and armed with a gun. What I get here is the fact that we should protect ourselves. We should have the license to carry. All you're giving me is a reason to have a license to carry. Simply put, if the Confederate flag is the primary tool of white supremacist hate, the gun is its deadliest weapon. Are you serious? We have begun as a nation to slowly address the problem of the Confederate battle flag. NASCAR recently banned it from events. Mississippi recently removed it from the state's flag, and more prohibitions are hopefully on the horizon. My own story is an example of that incremental progress. The traitor's flag that flew over the South Carolina Capitol the day my mom was murdered, finally taken down a month later after nationwide outrage. All you're saying is that people should be able to defend themselves against racist morons. But the truth is that taking down symbols of hate means very little unless we also disarm people who are inspired by them. Okay. But you know what the funny thing is? People who are criminals and think this way are still able to get guns. And I don't trust that sentiment, because you could easily find a way to even disarm people who are not racist and just want to be protected and live their lives in peace. And you can still tell them they have to be disarmed as well. Some lame excuse. On that front, our nation has lagged woefully behind. We have failed to pass any significant federal gun safety bill in the past 25 years. We've allowed armed extremists to brandish long guns at state capitals and intimidate peaceful protesters, and our background check systems remains riddled with gaps and loopholes. One of those gaps, now called the Charleston loophole, led directly to the death of my mom by allowing her killer to purchase a gun he was legally prohibited from owning. So I share my story alongside with other members of the Everytown Survivor Network during the National Gun Violence Survivors Week to ask that we reckon with hate in America's. We also take action to disarm it. You disarm hatred by punishing people who are racist, punishing people who act evil, punishing people who break the law. That's how you disarm the hate. You do not make everybody defenseless. I'm a reverend, so I promise that nobody appreciates your thoughts and prayers more than I. Wait a minute. Yeah, you're a woman. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take you seriously. Sorry. Women, according to the Christian faith, women are not called to be pastors. Okay? That position is for a man. Clearly, it says in that Bible that you must be the husband of one wife. Okay? That means it has to be a man. So I don't really take these female preachers seriously. Female pastors. I'm sorry, female pastors. When they come up, when I hear this nonsense, and now you're a reverend. Now I really don't take you seriously. I wouldn't take you seriously if you was a reverend. Knowing the way this country is falling apart and where this country is going. I'm a reverend, so I promise that nobody appreciates your thoughts and prayers more than I. But they are not enough unless they are paired with meaningful action. That action must come first and foremost from our leaders, beginning with the Biden-Harris administration, but in truth, the responsibility to advocate for gun safety extends to us all. Because if we do not come together around this issue in the weeks after our very democracy was held at gunpoint, then I fear that hate-motivated gun violence will not only continue, but also to accelerate. Of course, because, most of these democratic cities that you can't own a gun, guess who still gets the guns? The criminals. New York City. Just had a New York mother who confronted a man who groped her, and she was blown away. Had another lady, even before that, she just wanted to go to the liquor store, get her a bottle of liquor, and then leave the store. Got attacked by a bunch of savages, bit in the eye. Okay, all because she refused their advances. Now, if she had a weapon, she could have protected herself from these men. That leaves us with a choice. The photographs I described above of the Confederate flag in the Capitol and in the hands of my mother's killer capture the history of gun violence and hate in America better than I ever could. It's important to remember that they are a picture of our past. If we choose, we can stop them from being a preview of our future. The preview of our future, if we just disarm. You saying that owning a gun is white supremacy? Guess who only has the guns? The criminals and a government that could be crooked if they wanted to, which it is crooked. We have a crooked government. I don't take this lady seriously. I don't. What's up, Jerry? Jerry Thomas, how you doing? This is what we're dealing with, man. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who want to come up with this really, really weak narrative. And they want to basically tell us that we should give up our guns for some lame excuse that owning a gun is white supremacy. Yet, crime is going up through the roof. Police officers are no longer wanting to be cops. A matter of fact, make matters worse, we have racist cops in police departments all over. Sorry. And you say disarming is better, that owning a gun is white supremacy. This is more liberal foolishness. Tell me what you think in the comments about this. Do you think this lady is correct, or she's just crazy? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Like, share, comment, and subscribe, people. Don't know how long I'll be on this. Podbean wants to say I'm under investigation. Crazy. You know, it's crazy. Because I talked about the Rochester shooting of that. I'm sorry, not a Rochester shooting. My mistake. I'm sorry for that. Rochester incident where they pepper sprayed a 9-year-old black girl. And I said that I wonder if those Rochester, New York cops would act the same way if it was a 9-year-old white girl acting suicide and wanted to kill her mother. Well, get this good content while you can. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, people. Later.